Men, let's talk about a soul-crushing reality that far too many good men face: the sexless marriage. By clinical definition, a sexless marriage is when a couple has sex 10 times a year or less. But in reality, it exists on a devastating spectrum, ranging from 6 months of denial to 5, 10, and even 45 years, the entire marriage. If you are living in this reality, you know the feeling. Complete demoralization, confusion, and a crushing sense of being robbed of your masculinity. You lose your confidence, and your very self-identity as a capable, wanted man begins to crumble. We're going to discuss the 10 true, often shameful reasons your wife wants this arrangement. They are not about headaches or exhaustion. They are about power, control, and her own internal brokenness. Understanding this is the only way to escape the gaslighting and rebuild your strength. If you felt this demoralizing silence, hit that like button now. Tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? And please subscribe to secure your place in this community focused on male resilience. The myth you are told is that she's too stressed, too tired, or too busy to want sex. The health-critical truth, based on the thousands of marriages I've analyzed, is that the deep, dark secret of a woman who forces a sexless marriage is that the end goal is to crush your confidence and destroy your identity. Why? Because when you are broken, failing, and insecure, it solidifies her narrative. It justifies her poor behavior. It reinforces her victim story of why the marriage problems are all your fault. It provides ammunition for her to feel entitled to leave or act out. A wife who consciously maintains a sexless marriage knows exactly how deeply this denial breaks down the essence of a man. It leaves you feeling impotent, pathetic, embarrassed, rejected, and like a total failure. This experience robs you of your ability to succeed at work, show up as a father, and live your best life. Biologically, chronic sexual denial leads to high stress, cortisol, and severely low testosterone. This chemical breakdown is exactly what she needs to achieve the end goal, to weaken you so she can maintain emotional control. Emotionally, your self-identity crumbles. You stop feeling like a husband and start feeling like an unacknowledged roommate or a servant. The 10 reasons we are about to review are not excuses. They are the intentional, often unconscious strategies women use to manage their own inner turmoil by externalizing the blame onto their good man. You must internalize this one fact. You are not broken because she denies you sex. She denies you sex because she needs you to be broken. Understanding these shameful reasons is the first step to breaking free from her victim story and reclaiming your self-worth. 10. The ultimate emasculation and control. The motive. This is the most crucial reason. She knows sex is vital to your masculine identity and strength. Withholding it is the ultimate tool of control, placing all power and emotional leverage in her hands. Biologically, the stress of constant sexual rejection causes psychological castration, spiking your stress hormones and draining your energy. Emotionally, it confirms her position as the one who holds the keys to your happiness, making you feel perpetually subservient. The next reason is about a lack of commitment. And 9, she never wanted sex in the first place, the ruse. The motive? The sex she had early on was transactional, a ruse to secure the marriage, financial security, or children. Once the box is checked, the contract is over in her mind. Biologically, your early sex life was a performance, not a genuine connection, meaning the emotional bonding chemicals, oxytocin, were low, setting you up for future betrayal. Emotionally, you feel profoundly betrayed because the foundational agreement of the partnership was built on a lie. 8, the paid my dues entitlement. The motive. She believes she has put in her time and paid her dues early in the marriage or through childbirth, and now she's entitled to rest and deny intimacy without consequence. Biologically, this selfish mindset shows a lack of regard for your needs, triggering withdrawal symptoms and rejection in your brain. Emotionally, you are treated like an unwanted bill collector asking for something she's already settled. 7, she wants the problem to complain about. The motive. A sexless marriage is a major, undeniable problem. She wants this problem because it reinforces her victim status and gives her something tangible to point to as the source of her unhappiness. Biologically, the stress of fighting or complaining, even about sex, provides emotional drama that feeds her need for attention and validation. Solving the problem would remove her excuse for being unhappy. Practically, if the marriage was healthy, she'd have nothing to complain about. She wants the drama. This reason addresses her addiction to control. 6, the addiction to my will, my way. The motive. She is addicted to doing what she wants when she wants, with zero regard for how it impacts her husband. If sex is your idea, she will definitely say no to reinforce her control. Biologically, she gets a chemical rush from asserting her will and power over you, prioritizing her temporary satisfaction over your long-term connection. Emotionally, this makes the relationship feel like a perpetual battlefield where you are constantly fighting to be heard or considered. 5, the feminist doctrine of entitlement. The motive. She weaponizes phrases like, my body, my choice, or no one can tell me what to do, to deny any obligation to the marital contract, regardless of the consequences to you. Biologically, she uses a moral argument to justify a selfish act, which shields her from guilt and allows her to inflict pain while feeling righteous. Emotionally, you are denied intimacy not because of genuine desire, but because she is adhering to an external ideology that invalidates male need. The next 3 reasons are deeply rooted in her internal pain. 4, she needs to prove how terrible the marriage is. The motive, she buys into her own stories. I'm so tired, I'm drained, I give everything, and uses the withholding of sex as the ultimate proof that the marriage is broken, a direct consequence of your supposed neglect. Biologically, living in the victim story fuels her self-pity, which prevents her from experiencing the joy of sex, because joy would contradict her narrative of suffering. Practically, she sees sexual denial as a verifiable fact in her legal case against the relationship. 3, she doesn't want pleasure to maintain the victim story. The motive. Her negative behavior, nagging, blaming, controlling, makes her feel awful inside. She needs to feel awful to maintain her victim identity. Allowing herself to feel the pleasure of sex would shatter that identity. Biologically, pleasure releases chemicals like dopamine, which would challenge her chronic state of self-punishment and blame. She unconsciously rejects anything that makes her feel good. Emotionally, she needs the internal bad feelings to justify why she's entitled to be a bitchy or controlling partner. 2, sex is not important to her, self-centeredness. The motive. She is so intensely selfish and self-centered that she feels zero obligation to fulfill her marital duties or consider the fundamental needs of her husband. Biologically, this is pure emotional narcissism. She focuses only on her own momentary comfort and desire, treating your needs as an inconvenience. Practically, she strings you along with tiny bits of hope or excuses, I might want it later, only to maintain your compliance, proving that the denial is an intentional act of manipulation, not forgetfulness. 1, she never wanted you to be successful, the ultimate failure goal. The motive, her deepest, darkest secret, is that she doesn't want you to be a successful, strong man. She wants you to fail because your failure justifies her victim story and her poor life choices. Biologically, sexless marriage crushes your essence as a man, making you less successful in every area of life. Your failure solidifies her belief that you are a pathetic excuse of a man and justifies her self-pity. Emotionally, the denial of sex is the nuclear option to guarantee your breakdown, ensuring that she remains the one in control and the one with the justified grievance. Your job is not to solve her sexual denial. Your job is to reclaim the self-worth she is trying to destroy. 1, the accountability boundary. Stop buying the stories, the plan. Immediately stop arguing, pleading, or trying to convince her to have sex. You must break the gaslighting cycle. The practice. When she gives an excuse, I'm too tired, calmly accept it and shift your focus to something that builds your life. Stop letting her excuses dictate your emotional state. The goal, you refuse to be drawn into the debate. You let her own her reason, however pathetic, without challenging it, which neutralizes the power struggle. 2, the success vow. Double down on your identity. The plan. Aggressively focus on personal success, confidence, and strength outside the marriage. Become the successful man she secretly fears. What to commit to: intensive physical training, career goals, and deep connection with male friends. The emotional impact: you rebuild your identity from the inside out. Your worth is no longer tied to her desire, and your success will happen in spite of her attempts to crush you. 3. The financial and emotional preparation. The plan: protect yourself legally and emotionally. Recognize that a partner willing to inflict this kind of emotional cruelty is not a safe partner. The action: focus on building your financial stability and seeking professional support, a men's coach or therapist, to deal with the trauma of betrayal. The goal: you prepare for the eventuality that you may need to navigate the relationship in a new, more powerful way, ensuring your freedom and comfort. Good man: the feelings of being broken, rejected, and pathetic are the result of her toxic strategy, not a reflection of your worth. You are a capable, desirable man. Age is the time to prioritize your dignity. Do not let her sickness become your death. Know the truth. Reject the excuses. Reclaim your self-worth. Your success and vitality are the best form of defense against this destructive weapon.